proclamation reads as follows. And whereas for approximately 1518 to the mid-19th century, the Middle Passage carried millions of abducted African men, women, and children aboard grossly overcrowded ships in deplorable conditions to toil as slaves in the Americas and West Indies. Enslaved people suffered from a variety of maladies, often fatal, and countless black families were separated by the sale of black members. On August 20th, 1619, approximately 20 enslaved Africans were brought to Virginia colony, which would spur a 400-year institution of enslavement in North America. And whereas in the face of insurmountable odds, many inspirational figures will become part of the American pantheon of heroics, thought leaders and revolutionaries such as the abolitionists Harriet Tubman, John Brown, and Nat Turner. Furthermore, beginning in the 20th century, African Americans began a gradual mass exodus from southern plantations in search of better opportunities in cities in the Northeast, Midwest, and West, in a movement known as the Great Migration. And whereas it is with this same spirit of endurance and determination that descendants of the enslaved continue to endure the programs of slavery, Jim Crow, mass lynching, segregation, inequities in the criminal justice system, and institutionalized racism. This perseverance, while born from the evils of chattel slavery, has led African Americans to great heights in every conceivable industry and arena of American society. And whereas the city of Houston commends Representative Al Green and the 95 co-sponsors and 20 honorary co-sponsors for introducing H.R. 517. And I want to pause to acknowledge his work, his leadership in this effort in bringing attention to this particular issue. Original Slavery Remembrance Day resolution of 2021 to the 117th Congress. This resolution will be cherished for its posterity, serving as both a tribute to the lives of all enslaved people and a condemnation of the immoral acts and perpetuation of slavery in the United States. Therefore, I, Sylvester Turner, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaim August 20th, 2021, Slavery Remembrance Day in the City of Houston, and recognize Congressman Al Green of the 9th Congressional District for his work in bringing additional attention and focus on this particular issue. Congressman, we can't thank you enough for all that you have done and continue to do. Take this one, you do.
I'd like to thank you and the members of the City Council and commend you for the diversity that I see here today. And I would like to simply say this: we have truly come a great way, but we know that we have a way to go. And this resolution is about remembering the lessons of history so as to avoid repeating the horrors of history. I'm grateful, and Houston will be the very first city in the United States of America to acknowledge Slavery Remembrance Day. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Congressman. We have a number of council members in queue. First, we have Vice Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castex Tatum.
Congressman, thank you so much for being here today, and Mayor Turner, thank you for this proclamation on Slavery Remembrance Day. When I think about slavery and the impact that slavery has had on so many people, it's a tough, ugly side of America for us to remember, but it's so important that we remember what happened in the days of slavery so that we won't repeat the horrors of slavery. And I tell people all the time, democracy is learned, and we have to not grow weary of teaching the fight that we went through for democracy. And it's important that we take time to remember even the ugly parts of what happened during the slavery time. So thank you for bringing this forward and making this an important proclamation for us to take time to remember so that we won't forget. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Congressman, we have Councilmember Abby Kamen joining us virtually.
Hi, Congressman. Thank you so much. And Mayor, I'm actually glad that we're doing this proclamation regarding the resolution today as a standalone rather than yesterday with all the others, because it is so important. Congressman, I just wanted to thank you for your voice, not only for our city, but our entire country in DC. You continue to lead, you continue to say the things that must be said, even when other people don't want to hear them. And your leadership is something I respect and will always look up to. So thank you, and thank you for making sure that we continue to honor this Remembrance Day.
Councilmember Carolyn Evans Shabazz.
Thank you so much, Mayor. It is such an honor to share the Congressman with District K. He has been such a beacon in the community, and certainly he was formerly the president of the Houston branch of the NAACP, which certainly speaks to his heart and his passion. And he is such a role model for me, and he has worked and navigated me through some very tedious situations for which I will always be appreciative. But even more so, the way that he carries the torch for equity and justice is phenomenal. And I want to personally thank him, as well as you, Mayor, for bringing this proclamation to our attention. Because as Vice Mayor Pro Tem said, we have to remember the past so that we do not repeat it. And so thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Councilmember Letitia Plummer.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor, for bringing this forward. Congressman Green, you've just been around my whole entire life, and I never knew how important it all was growing up. But what you do for young people and allowing us to understand our history and how important our history is crucial, especially as all of us are so influenced by the things that are happening in the country right now. So I know oftentimes you don't hear us thank you, but even though we're not able to tell it to you personally, we're always keeping you in our prayers. We know you're always on the front line of the fight, and we are so grateful for what you bring to the table. So thank you so much, Congressman.
Thank you very much.
Councilmember Michael Kubash.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for this proclamation. I remember the first time I ever met you. I met you at when you were as Justice of the Peace, in the Justice of the Peace down in lower precincts, and I remember how fair you were and how you dealt with the audience, the people in the audience every day. And my brother Paul has been so impressed with you that when you ran for Congress and you won, he went to your inauguration with his two little children, and he's still very impressed with you, and his children are as well. God bless you, and thank you for all you've done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Councilmember Ed Pollard.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mayor. Congressman Green, thank you for your leadership in this. Also, thank you for your voice. Thinking about Representative Al Edwards and when he first introduced Juneteenth. And then 40 years later, it's now a national holiday. And so his voice was strong in making sure that we as a country, especially here in Texas, remembered what happened. And you're doing the same with the Slavery Remembrance. And I think it's important for us all to make sure that we don't gloss over history. We learn from history. It is something that helps us all grow even to this day and understanding the impact. And so I want to thank you for your leadership in this effort. Hopefully one day we'll be even mentioning this as a national day as well. So thank you for your contributions.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Robert Gallegos.
Thank you, Congressman Green, for everything that you do for your district and for the city of Houston and DC. And thank you, Mayor, for this recognition. It's very important that we make sure we don't forget our history, especially in our history books. Unfortunately, a lot of our history is left out of our history books, and it's important that we keep it in the forefront so future generations can know the true history, good and bad, of this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And joining us virtually, Councilmember Tiffany D. Thomas.
Good morning, Mayor, and good morning, Congressman Green. Unfortunately, I'm unable to join you in person, but I hope you receive my well wishes virtually. As my colleagues have mentioned, oftentimes you've been the lone voice leading the path, sounding the alarm about injustice about equity and other issues within the community. So I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for your work and thank you for representing the 9th District.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Congressman, and thank you, Mayor Turner, for bringing this forward. And as they say, if you would like to say a few words, Congressman, please.
Thank you. I will simply leave you with these words. We do have a 9/11 Remembrance Day. We have a Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. We have a Holocaust Remembrance Day. We now have a Slavery Remembrance Day. I'm grateful to you, Mayor. Your leadership is something that I absolutely have admired. And I'm so moved just looking at the diversity that I see on this council. I've lived long enough to appreciate what I see. I'm a son of the segregated South. The rights that the Constitution recognized, my neighbors denied me. So I've lived long enough to appreciate what I see. And I'm grateful that we've come this far. And I pray that we will move together and have what we promised, the liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.